Hi everybody, I'm here to report on last night's 2-1 defeat for Rangers against Sturm Graz in Austria in the Europa League. And to say it was a shock is a lie, because everybody was expecting yet another defeat. We've only won 5 out of 16 games, so we weren't going to beat them in Austria. We wouldn't have beaten them at Ibrox either. Actually, the narrowness of the defeat was probably a pleasant surprise, because most people were probably thinking this could be a 4 or a 5 nothing, and we actually maybe did enough in the second half to snatch a draw. But Sturm Graz aren't a great team, same as Genk, just average teams that we would have beaten easily in the last 3-4 years, whatever. So another defeat, 2 defeats out of 2 in the Europa, not looking good, and that's an understatement. At least our dud charlatan head coach picked the right team, apart from maybe Chermiti instead of Miovski. But the others were what we expected, probably. So at least that was something. He almost picked the correct team. And the only trouble is, doesn't matter who plays. If they play under his tuition, with his tactics, his system, you could have, Haaland in there, and you could have Dick Van Dijk from Liverpool in there, and it wouldn't make any difference. They'd be so exposed and so lacking in service, they wouldn't produce anything near what they're capable of. So another dismal performance and result at the end of the day, obviously. And the annoying thing was their 2 goals came from 2 set pieces. Oh, and one of them was ours. Yes, hard to believe, I know. We have a throw in out to the right, Captain Heroic, who has to take everything. We've now gone back to him taking every corner, every free kick, every throw in. So here he is taking a throw in out to the right, about 30 yards from our goal line. He's got about 3, 4, maybe 5 Rangers players he can throw it to. A couple of them are being marked quite closely. Suter's unmarked about 10 yards towards his goal. So instead of throwing it to him, no, he just throws it aimlessly towards Chermiti, who's about 15 yards away from him towards the halfway line. He doesn't know there's a guy coming in behind him. So as soon as that ball's released, the Austrian guy rushes forward, gets his boot ahead of Chermiti before it can even reach him, and just prods it forward into the 18-yard box. Guy pounces on it, runs forward, Suter's nowhere. The Canadian guy, I can't even think of his name now, he's nowhere either, and he just passes it. Guy takes a touch, through 2-3 defenders it goes, and hits off Butland and into the net. I would say at first I thought I blamed Butland for not saving it, but when you think about it, I think he was unlucky. It came through these players and just hit off him. So 1-0 down about 6 minutes, typical start. The second goal was even worse. Free kick to them, away out in the right. Our genius of a coach, or maybe it's the set play guy who's earning a fortune for tutoring them in how to defend and attack with set plays. He's got them all 8-9 Rangers players all in a line, straight line, about 40 yards from the goal line. 40 yards out from the goal in a line, and they've got a couple of players in amongst it. And the guy, great pass, he just passes it into that huge space with nobody in it, nowhere near the wall of players. So hits it into the space, the guy runs from deep, runs onto it and just puts it past the keeper. So great pass, great finish, but what are we doing? Lining up a wall of defenders, not even a wall, there's a couple of yards between each of them. We're lining them up 40 yards from goal. If you have them on the 18-yard line, the other team doesn't have any option but to just chip it into the box, and surely you've got a better chance of defending that than leaving a huge space between you and the goalkeeper. But that's what happens. So another ridiculous goal to give away, and that's not the players deciding that or the goalkeeper, that's the coaches, that's the head coach deciding that's how we'll defend free kicks when they're that far out and in that position. So 2 terrible goals to lose. We could have lost another couple. Butland actually had 2 or 3 good saves in the first half hour, apart from these goals. So he did his job. But basically, they were cutting through us at times, and it was only Butland or poor finishing that saved us. So for the manager to try and gaslight the fans at the end of the game by saying it was the set plays that were giving us problems and not an actual open play is just an outright lie. And that's why we want rid of this guy. He can't even tell the truth. So now 2-0 down at half time. We come out. Great goal to get us back into the game early on. And it started with Butland. Decent pass to Raskin. Great diagonal right to Gassama in their half. He cuts in. He was helped, I suppose, by the big Canadian centre half who is now playing at left back. Practically, he makes a run up the left that maybe takes one of the guys away, but Gassama just cuts in and does what he does usually, a good shot at goal, except this time it's not swerving away to the right hand corner, it went in at the left hand side, so well done him. 2-1, back in it. What can I say about the rest of the game? We had so many chances, the goalkeeper saved them all. When you look at the stats, we had more shots at goal, more shots on target, more possession than them, and yet we still can't win. We still can't even draw. I think we had 11 shots on target, 11, and only one of them went in, and the goalkeeper saved the others. I would say their goalkeeper had more saves than us, although Butland had another 2 or 3 saves in the second half when they were breaking away. But basically their goalkeeper had to work harder than ours, so that's something, I suppose. But you can't really expect anything if you can't put a shot where the goalkeeper can't get to. So although we had all these chances, even one in the 88th minute where Suter, of all people, managed to get his boot on it, and it went straight to the goalkeeper who saved it. That could have been the equaliser, ridiculously enough. So now, all these chances, one goal. I wonder how that's happening, head coach. So, 2-1 defeat, another abject display. Second half was better, obviously, than the first half, but it couldn't be any worse because it was just non-existent in the first half. Gassama, easily our best man, the only one that looked dangerous, looked likely to score. Butland, close behind him, he did his job as well. The only other two I'd give pass marks to would have been Raskin, who did a few good things but got stuck in all the time, showed a bit of energy. And strangely enough, big centre forward Shermite, that was his best game. I know it's a low bar, but in the first half, he had a good header that hit off the bar early on. He had another nice little flick when Gassama cut it back to him. And the only problem there was the goalkeeper was only about 3-4 feet away from him, so it hit off the goalkeeper's legs. But it was a nice, delicate touch. He had a shot straight at the goalkeeper from an angle in the first half. So there was 3 decent efforts in the first half, and I think he had 1 in the second half. So I'll give him pass marks. If he can improve on this, there might be a player in there. Who else? I think that was it. Well, let's look at the duds. I mean, Ant-Man's beginning to worry me. And I don't know if it is the manager now, because the last few games I've seen him, he gets the ball just inside the opposition half on the touchline, and his first thought is not to face up the guy who's coming towards him and try and get past him, but just to trundle inside, maybe beat a guy, maybe not, but just trundle 5-10 yards inside and lay it off to somebody else who's in the middle rather than attacking the defender. So I'm beginning to worry about him unless that's the manager's instructions, which I suspect it is. And of course, Captain Heroic, that dud who should have been gone 2 years ago, he's apparently now a key man, doing everything and doing most things badly. Shocking passing, trundling about, missing tackles, unaware of runners. We'll win nothing. We'll not even be a good team while that guy is seen by the manager, the head coach, as a good player or a vital player. Please hurry back, Sterling, because we need somebody like you in there, not him or Aarons, who's even worse. That's the only reason Tavernier's still in the team, because the guy they brought in to replace him is even worse, Aarons. So when teams playing like that, a couple of guys playing well and a couple of guys, average, and the rest of them are poor, you have no chance against any kind of European team. Nobody's going to be surprised if Falkirk beat us on Sunday. But the head coach, will continue, because these Americans know nothing about football, and you're beginning to wonder, why did they spend 70 million quid and then start to blow most of the money for everyday expenses on a guy like this who's just dragging us down and ruining not only the domestic season but ruining a European coefficient that was spent, what, 6, 7 years building up? When will it be bye bye Russell? Who knows?